Bitch, you let me on my own. Ay, onto that dirty now.
Peace. What's good, guys? How's it going? Let's talk about and discuss NXT for November the 29th, 2022. This episode of NXT was okay. First match of the night, Roxanne Perez versus Indy Hartwell. Roxanne Perez wins via Pop Rocks. Shawn Michaels, he's backstage with his crew. That being Molly Holly, Road Dogg, X-Pac, and Alundra Blaze. Moving on. Andre Chase, he's backstage. He's talking to Duke Hudson and Thea Hale. They enter. So, Duke, he apologizes for last week, for booting Chase in the head last week. Duke said that he gathered student signatures for Chase to be in the Iron Survivor Challenge. And he's going to he's going to take them to Shawn Michaels' office. Chase appreciates it. Grayson Waller, he steps in, talks some trash, says that Duke's been playing Chase U. He says Chase will never be a champion. And then out of nowhere, for whatever fucking reason, Thea Hale, she wanted a piece of Grayson Waller. She started acting like Scrappy-Doo. I'm like, what the fuck? So Waller, he laughs and then he dips out. But Chase also says that he'll kick Grayson Waller's ass, but he'll let Duke handle it. Moving on. Dante Chen. He's back. We haven't seen him in quite some time. A long time, I would say. Maybe 7-8 months ago. Maybe. Give or take. Can't remember. I remember when they hacked him up a lot last year. And a little bit this year. Well, a good bit this year. Until he got injured and all that. So he took on Dijakovic. Or Donovan Dijakovic. So Dijak wins via Feast Your Eyes. He gets on the mic. And he says that this is an example of hard justice. Unrelenting annihilation. He wants you to look into his eyes. The only thing you'll see is the infliction of suffering. No, I see failure in your eyes, Dijak. I really do. I see fucking failure. You suck. NXT is a place of refuge, but not for him. He says that he didn't come to reinvent or rediscover himself. He came to eviscerate a soft society and any man that stands in his way. So, he names out Wes Lee, Dante Chen, Apollo Crews, and Bron Breakker. And he says that they are all nameless, faceless men who will be brought to justice. My justice. Who gives a fuck? Moving on. JD McDonough. He's backstage talking to Ivy Nile. He tells her that the Creeds bit off more than they can chew with Indesure. The Creeds, they come in and they dismiss what JD's saying. They said that they're not backing down and that they will fight. They'll win the fight fair and square. JD says no fight is fair. JD goes on about a science behind why they can't beat Indesure. Talking about bone density and so on. And then the Creeds end up telling JD to leave and he dips out. So, moving on. Shawn Michaels, he's backstage with his crew. And they said that we need 5 participants for the men and women for the Iron Survivor Challenge matches. So, for the men, Tony D'Angelo, Carmelo Hayes, JD McDonough, and Tony D. And there's going to be a triple threat for the men to qualify. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Later on, they're going to announce the women. Grayson Waller versus Duke Hudson. Grayson Waller wins via the stunner. Please change your finishing move, Grayson, please. So, post-match, Waller, he exits. He dips out. He tells Chase he's right, and Chase knows it. So, Duke looks on as Chase and Hale tend to him. So, it seems like they're going to kick out Grayson. I mean, my bad. It seems like they're going to kick out Duke. Excuse me, sorry about that. My boy, Javier Bernal, he's backstage talking to Mackenzie Mitchell, saying that he has his own new holiday. He calls it Big Body Tuesday. So, he showed us off some merchandise. A big body bat. A big Javi body pillow with his face on it. That was funny. And then he showed us some cologne, some big body Javi cologne. So it's a dick joke. He sprays it. Mackenzie, she starts to cough and barf. Axiom, he appears out of nowhere. He says that he heard Bernal wanted to fight. Bernal says, fight is a harsh word. Besides, Axiom isn't medically cleared. Axiom says he just came from the trainer's room and said that he's now cleared. So Axiom, he dips out to get the match made. Kiana James versus Fallon Henley. Kiana James wins via the 401k. I love the finisher. The match was too long between the two. We could have taken off maybe a good 5 minutes of that. I don't know. That's just me. Moving on. Odyssey Jones and Malik Blade and Idris NFA, they're backstage. So, Blade is holding his father's ripped sweater. He's upset about that, about what Von Wagner did last week. So, he gets hyped up by Jones and Malik. By Jones and NFA. And they told him to use his anger on Von Wagner. And then Blade says Von better be good at taking a good ass weapon tonight. And then Blade says that he wants to go out there alone and handle this by himself. So I can respect that. I can. Pretty cool. So we're backstage again. This time, Shawn and Carew are talking about the women's Iron Survivor Challenge participants. Roxanne Perez, Zoe Stark, and Kiana James, and who else did he mention? Yeah. Oh, Cora Jade. My bad. I knew if I got somebody. Cora Jade. So, there's going to be a triple threat to determine the fifth and final participant in the women's. And, it pissed me off here. They were all putting over Zoe Stark about how she should be on the main roster. Get the fuck out of here. Zoe Stark can't even cut a proper fucking promo. Why the fuck would she be on the main roster? She's nothing but a work rate chick. Get the fuck out of here with that shit, Shawn. You know better than that, man. You know better than that. That's some Mark shit right there, Shawn. That's some Mark shit. Like Road Dogg and all of them, like they were total fucking marks for that shit. Winnie Chu, she got made fun of by Cora Jade via a TikTok video. Who gives a fuck? Fuck TikTok. So, we were supposed to get a match between Toxic and Nikita Lyons and Casey Squared, but it didn't happen because Zoe Stark, she took out Nikita Lyons. So, we got a vignette for Lyra Valkyra. So she's from NXT UK, and she's pretty decent from what I've heard. So her gimmick is basically similar to that of Masha Slamovich on Impact. And instead of using X's and whatnot, she uses feathers to challenge her opponents. And she's decent, you know. So I'm glad she's there. I like what they're doing with the NXT UK women. I do. I'm just glad that they are not going down the path of what they did with the men by bringing in, Gallus and others, Tyler Bate. So, excuse me, sorry about that. So, but other than that, I'm fine with it. Moving on, Mackenzie Mitchell, she's backstage with Elektra Lopez. And so Lopez says, she says that Indy has some connection with fans, and it seems like a trend to be an Indy fan. And then she says that she doesn't follow trends, she sets them. She says Indy is the heart of the division, and so if she takes out the heart, she'll be the new heart and soul of NXT, of the NXT women's division. Lopez says she didn't come back to NXT to make any new friends. She came back to build an empire of her own. Okay, I can dig that. And then she says, if Indy wants to bet on herself, go ahead, but don't bet against her, or you'll end up going broke. I like that. Axiom versus Javier Bernal. Axiom wins via the flying super kick for the win. So, Nakia Lyons, she's backstage, and she's being attended to by one of the trainers, and so he's just moving her leg around, and she says that she's all good. She said there's just some bruising. So, Mackenzie Mitchell, she's backstage with my boys, Pretty Deadly, yes boy. So, they say that everyone has been talking about Deadline and Iron Survivor, but not Pretty Deadly. So, they're going to tell the fans a Christmas story next week, which should be fucking awesome. Next, JD McDonough versus Julius Creed in a very good match. So, JD is DQ'd by hitting Sangha, who appears. He takes the chair shot that was meant for Julius. And Sangha says that they want them at 100%. So, that's cool. I can't wait for the match. I think that the tag match between Indus and the Creeds are going to be good. It's going to be fucking good. I like both teams anyway. I do. Let's go to the diner. Yes. Bron Breakker joins Apollo Crews for breakfast. Oh my God, what the fuck? We're building a match here, guys. We're not eating here. We're building a fucking match. Let's do better. So Crews, he's journaling. He says 2 weeks ago, he's 2 weeks away from his vision coming true. So Braun sits down. He has a cup of coffee. So Crews says that they have the breakfast of the future champion. Braun doesn't see it. So Crews asks Braun about his fishing. And then Braun mentions how Crews had trouble getting past Grayson Waller. So basically, they're two just jaw jacking about how they go into the gym, go into the gym and whatnot. Cruise to stay all of Bron's matches and blah blah blah. It's like they need to build this better, and I think it's because the fact of the matter is that it's a babyface versus babyface, and not a heel. And I do wish that Apollo was heel or would turn heel. It would be a lot better. But, it is what it is. But, man, we don't need this. We really don't. This is something that they should have done, like, maybe 3 weeks ago with this. Not now. Not 2 weeks away. Not even 2 weeks. You might as well say a damn week. Moving on. So, Isla Dawn. Oh, my bad. Not Isla Dawn. Alba Fire, she's backstage. She's got a video package, and she's got some choice words for Isla Dawn. So she says that whoever told, or whatever spirit told Dawn that it was a good idea to target Fire must have it out for her. Fire says she's keeping her from delivering her promises. No, my bad. So Fire says keeping her from delivering her promises will lead to Dawn's ultimate demise. She asked if Dawn wants to have fun. Well, what Fire does to Dawn will be anything but fun. Okay, that's cool. So we have Dijak and Stax, along with D'Angelo. They're backstage. No, they're in the parking lot. And Dijak calls Stax a rat punk. And then Tony D is like, hey, Tony D wants to have a word with Dijak. I don't know what for. So Tony thanks Dijak for softening up Wesley last week. Dijak says he didn't do it for him. He didn't do them any favors. He was just the first. Tony says Dijak used to be a big deal around here, and Tony has always had a good relationship with the authorities. So between them, before he hits the websites, Tony will be back in business next week in the ring. And whether or not Lee is on Dijak's list, Tony's getting to see it that Lee's days as champion are numbered. Tony asked Dijak if they had an understanding. Dijak stares at him and says something like that, and then Dijak dips out. Von Wagner versus Malik Blade. Von Wagner wins, and then Von Wagner beats down both Inoue and Blade, but Odyssey Jones comes out and makes the save. I'm pretty much down for this. I can't wait, I think Von Wagner versus Odyssey Jones somewhere down the line will be decent. And the main event, that being Toxic Attraction versus KC Squared and Nikita Lyons. Toxic Attraction win via the high-low. And my girl, Nikita Lyons, does the job again. And I'm like, damn, why do they keep shooting her in the foot? She can't become a tag champion. She can't win the breakout tournament early this year. She can't do anything right now. Like, they got her on lock. Like, they have her on lock and key. It's like, obviously, she's over with the fan base. She's obviously over with people on the internet. Obviously, we like her. But for whatever reason, management doesn't like her. My bad. Nikita can take 2 steps forward, and then she's automatically thrusted, like, 8 steps back by management. It just doesn't make any sense. And I hate it. I really do hate it. The Iron Survivor matches, I'm kind of excited for. You know, I'm guessing maybe Indy Hartwell will probably win her match, her triple threat. And I think that probably Von Wagner will win his and be added in. So that would be fine, I guess. I'm still looking forward to the Creeds and Indusure. We may have a little feud between Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. That should be decent. But I'm very worried about Braun and Apollo. I'm worried about that because we ain't got but a week left to do this shit. And next week is the go home show. Like, I'm very worried about that shit. I am. I kid you guys not. I'm worried about that because it's like, who goes over? Like, there's no heat going into this thing. It's like these two are just baby faces. It's like, we got to spice things up here. And we ain't got enough time to really even do that. We just don't. You know? I don't know. But overall, NXT this week was decent. So, you know. On that note, thank you guys for watching. Please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos. I was shocked that we didn't see Schism on this show. And I was also shocked that we did not see your boy Scripps. I'm shocked that he wasn't on there. Carmella Hayes wasn't on here. So, you know, I don't know. Kind of weird not to see these guys on here. It just was kind of odd. But it is what it is. All right. Peace.
Everybody hides their head, trying to